Hey guys, welcome. I'm so glad to have you guys here. I always love when I sign on for these and then you guys are already in the chat area. It's so wonderful. So wonderful. Yeah, we're talking about being misunderstood. And you know what? I don't think that anyone gets to escape this. And when it when we are misunderstood, it's hurtful, it's frustrating. I think we would all say it's frustrating, it's aggravating, but I think that, a lot of us wouldn't just come out and say, "You know what? It actually just hurt." Um, that's something that I think is maybe a bit too vulnerable, a little bit too raw for us to say, but really, like, that's kind of the end of the emotion. It's just, oh, that just really hurts. So I think when we understand in ourselves, first and foremost, what being misunderstood means to us, then we can move forward. But I think that all too often when we are misunderstood, the first thing that we do is we react at the other person and then we yell at them and say, why didn't they just understand me? And sometimes you got to go inwards before you go outwards. And so it's saying like, what does this what does this make me feel? Well, how do I feel treated in this? How do I see myself in this? How do I feel about myself in this? Those are good questions that we have to ask ourselves. I need to drink some water. If you're new here, excuse me. My name is Arica Angelo. I'm a dating and relationship expert of 14 years now. And if you are new, make sure that you subscribe and you turn on that notification bell. And if you are new here, I have a new connection meditation. You can go there, and it's my website, aricaangelo.com. There's no E in Erica, and you can sign up for it right there. So super grateful for you to be here. Make sure you get that meditation. It is an audio and it's also a connection mind movie. So you can watch the visuals that go along with it. So, how many of you have been misunderstood? I think everyone's going to say yes, but I'm just going to see how many of you admit to it. Let's see what you guys say in the comment section. Good afternoon, Thomas. Hi, Ninja Wolf. Hi, Nathan. So glad that you're here. Um, Hi, Penguin. Penguin says, everyone says I am misunderstood. This will help ease my mind. Lots tangled up on this topic. Thank you, Erica. You're awesome. That's a very good perspective. I really thank you for sharing that, Penguin. Ninja Wolf says, I don't know much about being misunderstood. Well, okay. Hi, Noe. Hi, Blair. Um, Antonio, I'm good. I'm with family here in Texas. So it's so wonderful to be with family and to see family. So that's been really nice. Hey, Babu Comics. It's so good to have you here. Jason from Saladin, Texas. I'm in around the Houston, Texas area. I don't know where Saladin is. Tyler, hey, how are you? Glad to have you here, Bear. Hi, Barry from Dallas. Ah, love Dallas. Thank you. Roger says most healthy marriage counseling focuses on issues. It's the miscommunications that lead to division. That's very true. It's very true. Hi, Orville Nation. Hey, Nathan. He says, I love this. He said, I've been listening to the connection meditation for a week and I've been able to sleep more hours and better sleep quality. Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing that with me. I'm actually going to screenshot that and I'll share it on my story. That really touches my heart, Nathan. Thank you for sharing that. I'm so glad you're getting better sleep too. That's powerful. That means it's going into the subconscious. Antonio says, yes, I have. He's been misunderstood. Barry says, yes. Noe says, I was in high school in 2007. Okay. Davy says, dislike when being misunderstood. It leads to conflict. That is the truth. Oh my gosh, you guys, we have an intruder coming. I think our guest from yesterday's live is wanting to be a part of today's live. Can you hear the snorting? Guess who wants to be a part of today's live? Noe, oh, you're close to San Antonio. Nice. I can hear the snorting back there. Thank you, Antonio. I so appreciate that. Orville says, often people don't expect someone being just kind and altruistic, and they misinterpret your intentions. That has happened to me a lot. Blair says, being misunderstood just takes a lot of communication. That's true. Ninja Wolf says, Abby. Yes, Abby, my brother and sister-in-law's dog. She's gone. Was just here. She was a part of our live yesterday. So here's the thing. When we're misunderstood, as I said earlier, it is hurtful. And I think sometimes understanding how it impacts us helps us get some clarity on how we want to move forward when we're misunderstood. Now, the thing is I think because sometimes being misunderstood hurts so much, we want to shut down our communication, and we want to just kind of go, ouch, that just hurts, and it actually makes us want to shut down sometimes. Or when some people are misunderstood, it makes them want to overly communicate, but maybe aggressively, and just demand that the other person sees where we're coming from. So it's when we're misunderstood, sometimes in the moment, you have two choices. You can take a deep breath and, all right, I'm going to find a solution to this. And sometimes you need a break, and you just need to go, this hits a little too close to home, and I'm just going to go and park it over there. I'm going to have a breather, and I don't want to talk this through with you right now. So sometimes that's what is needed. The challenge is when you're in that situation, you don't know what you need. Most of us stay in the situation and just keep talking too much, when really we just need to breathe it out and come back to ourselves, feel more grounded in ourselves, feel more peaceful within ourselves. So when you're misunderstood, if you feel like in that moment that you can communicate through it, here's what you said. What you say. You say, and this is at the 8-minute and 26-minute mark. So if this is a struggle for you, make sure you come back to this moment when the video is over. You say this: listen, I'm sensing that you're not really understanding, or you have a different experience of what I'm trying to convey. So I'm going to just tell you directly what I'm trying to say. And I want to share with you where I'm coming from. I think communicating the intention is super, super, super important. When you say, listen, it's hard for me to hear that you're not understanding where I'm coming from, but it's really important to me that you do understand. So here's my intention. And it's interesting because I think that when we just throw out facts to people, it's still hard for people to hear us. And if they can't hear us, they can't understand us. But when we show our intention, it humanizes us. It makes us feel more like, it brings that human element where it's like, okay, I'm talking to a person here, so maybe I don't want to hit them so hard. Maybe I want to be a little bit more mindful of how I communicate to them. So, and then you just say, like, listen, I think, or you say what my intention was, state your intention. And then you say, this is what I was trying to do. This is where I'm coming from. So, that's what I mean by intention is saying where you're coming from, and then communicate what you were doing, what the action was, what was verbalized. I hope that helps you guys. Hi, Maria. So glad you're here. Thank you for being here, darling. So now let's talk about from Penguin's perspective when he says, I'm just misunderstood. When we go through life, I'm going to be super honest with you. When we go through life and it's not a situation where we're misunderstood, but it is an ongoing thing where we feel consistently misunderstood. Um, Most of the time, we're not showing up with all that we are. We're not showing up to the full capacity of who we are. Typically, when people constantly misunderstand us, there's a part of us that we're holding back. I almost said hiding, and there's truth to that. But then there's a part of us that we are holding back. And when people feel that and they sense that, it creates distrust. It creates an unease. It creates an uncomfortability because most of the time we can feel authenticity from people. It's why we've all been given intuition. It's why you can see someone do something, but your insides go, what they're saying and what's actually going on are two different things, you know? So when a person is constantly misunderstood, I would almost venture to say that they have a fear of being fully seen for all that they are. Oh, Abby is here. She's sleeping on the floor. Um, Nathan, that is a really, I love when you guys give feedback because I come with a certain anecdotes, and the beautiful thing is because you guys all have different perspectives. When you guys share these things in the chat, it just adds a whole nother layer and a whole different perspective of like, yeah, let's address it through that lens. So I can't wait to come to that because that's really good. That is really, really good. Yeah, when we're constantly misunderstood, there's a part of us that's not showing up for ourselves. We're not speaking up and sharing our truth. We're not being fully all of ourselves. Penguin, thank you so much for your super chat. I hope this is helping you, Penguin, because I'm speaking to your question right now. I hope that this is kind of, and let me know if this resonates or not, or if you're like, actually, it's a little bit different than what you're explaining. I want to give you clarity. So make sure that you um, share with me if it's not resonating with you. But yeah, most of the time when we constantly go around feeling misunderstood, it's either through like insecurity or fear of being rejected or being let down by people. And so we hold back who we are, what we really want to say, how we really want to express ourselves, how we really want to show up in the world because we're trying to play it safe. And so people feel that disconnect of resonance. They feel that disresonance and they just say like, and so all because they don't feel the congruency there, they feel the misalignment. They say, they start forming their own assumptions about you, essentially, and they start formulating their own stories about you. And when they do that, no matter what you say, they already have a story going on that they've built around you. And oh, great, Penguin, he says, it's right on. Okay, I'm so glad that this is speaking to you. Wonderful. When they formulate that story, the best way that you can break down and destroy that story is by being all of you. And you do that by saying all of your truth, and not waiting for them to appreciate it, accept it, understand it, but just go, this is who I am. And this is what I was actually trying to say. And this is me. And what you do is you actually position that person to stop taking the guesswork out with you. Because when you don't fully and they have to make assumptions in their mind, because as human beings we need to compartmentalize things, we need to help us understand, to help us figure out how we want to navigate with a person, how we want to navigate with life. And so when you don't show up fully how you are, you're almost taking away the tools that they need to do relationship with you so that they can navigate how to do life with you, how to do relationship, how to do communication with you. And so when you are showing, thank you for that, Orville. I so appreciate that. You're such a great encourager. You mean a lot to me. Thank you. Um, when you just fully present who you are, then it really, really, really lets a person go, okay, I don't have to create a story around this person because Penguin is telling me exactly who he is. He's telling me exactly what's going on. And he's being fully transparent and he's being all of who he is. He's not holding himself back. I think when we feel that someone is holding themselves back, it creates uncertainty because we go, well, why? And it makes us not want to be all of ourselves with them because it's like, if that person's not showing up for who they are and all that they are, why would I want to give myself to that? Like there's like, no, let's meet each other in the middle. People feel more safe when they feel like they're being met. And so if people are misunderstanding you, it's like show up more and who you really are and don't turn down the volume of who you are. And then when you are consistently showing up with all of you, all your heart, all your, your thoughts, your views on life, your perspective, people can then feel more safe with you and trust you. And when there is a misunderstanding, they're going to feel more comfortable navigating that with you because there's a level of clarity that they have about who you are. I felt like that was some really good advice, if I do say so myself. Um, so I love what Davey said. He said, Penguin, isn't it great to having someone knowledgeable like Arica talk directly to your concerns? Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. All right, I want to go back to Nathan's. Nathan says, I also think that there's a factor of a person isn't ready for the information. Haven't we all been there? This is where when a person's not ready to hear you, this is where when I talk about grounding, connecting with yourself, using my connection meditation to come back to yourself, these are those challenging moments where when a person doesn't want to understand you, that you cannot let their misunderstanding define you. And I think that's a challenge when we haven't really done our work and really come to an understanding about accepting ourselves, valuing ourselves, knowing ourselves, feeling comfortable, understanding ourselves. When a person misunderstands us, it can feel like a threat. When really that's just their opinion, like that's just their view. It doesn't define you. It's just their view. It's just what they think about. It doesn't amount to a hill of beans to you. But when the person just isn't ready for the information, the challenge for you is to be able to walk away and not allow their lack of involvement, ability to move forward, an ability to see, hear, and understand you. Even though it may hurt in that moment, you can't let it, I mean, you can do whatever the hell you want. But if you want to stay anchored in yourself, you want to stay anchored in love with yourself, you have to go, okay, that person is just not ready. This doesn't get to define me. So I get to walk away still feeling me, still feeling comfortable with myself. Yeah, maybe it hurts. I can acknowledge that's my experience. I'm going to acknowledge that. But that's their journey. And almost like creating that disconnect and not letting their lack of availability to understand define you. So when they're not ready for the information, I remember um, my dad used to tell me I was in high school and I used to get in these debates with these guys all the time about lots of topics. And my dad said, "Don't throw your pearls before swine." And it's just the same thing. Like, you know, when a person is sincere and they want to become better, they want to be there for you, they'll communicate in compassion. Hey, I'm not understanding you. Maybe I need to step away and maybe I need to like watch a YouTube video or maybe I need to do my own research so that I can get some understanding on this. But if they're just not available and they're just cut off from the experience, that's on them. And you can't just keep pouring and pouring and pouring, begging that person to understand you. You just have to go, okay, there's, get it, Abby. Do you want to come be a part of this live? Do you want to come sit back on my lap? Okay, come on, come on. They want to see you too. Come on, come on, come on, girlfriend. Come here. Okay. She's undecided right now. We're having a misunderstanding. When she wants to be pet, that's what it is. Like, I don't want to be held. I just want to be pet. Okay. I'll pet and do a live. I'll change people's lives and pet Abby. um, when when that's kind of that hard line from them where they're just too prideful or too disconnected and they don't want to understand you, in that moment you have to um, not continue to pour yourself out into that person is really what it boils down to. You just kind of have to walk away and just go, I'm going to leave you to yourself because I don't feel like this is going anywhere. So I'm going to let you do you. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do me. And sometimes we need that. We need that breather. We need to walk away. Sometimes it's a permanent walk away. Sometimes it's just for a moment. So I hope that makes more sense on that, Nathan. Tony says, can you explain to me this? I am kind, caring, honest, genuine, but girls seem to want money and a rich lifestyle, not real love and companionship. Why is being nice so bad? Um, Listen, I think that there are some women who want that. And then I think there are more mature women who understand that there's more to life than that. I mean, typically when a woman is coming from that perspective, oh, you're so silly. She's being silly. I mean, when a woman's coming from that perspective, there's a sense of lack, there's a sense of fear, there's a sense of disconnect from um, her heart. If I can say, yeah, I can say that, from her heart, because, you know, love is from the heart. But when we're focused on material things, that's typically a void inside of ourselves. There's some past programming there that we haven't rectified. And we think just by adding more to it, it'll make the problem go away. Tony, always when I get guys who message me about a situation like this, it's always a situation back to the guy about value, about valuing himself, because you have to ask yourself, do I really value me? Because if I'm attracting people who don't value me and just value my possessions, is that an energy that they're feeling from me? Is that a frequency? Is that a vibe that they're feeling from me? And so, Tony, I would encourage you to really investigate and go, but do I value myself? You know, I'm bringing women into my life that don't value me. They value possessions. What about myself am I not valuing? And, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with being a nice guy, but I think sometimes what is classified as a nice guy is typically a guy with lots of broken boundaries who put people before himself, and that conveys a lack of value. So you have to ask yourself that. Hi, Robert. So glad you're here. Nathan says most people can take authentic people now. Most people can or can't take authentic people nowadays because all the filters, Instagram, like that's probably just me though. My experience, Nathan, is okay, can't take. My experience is that when someone is authentic, that they find it refreshing. I think that, like even in when you watch people on TV, like you watch reality shows, it's typically the more messy person, the more person who's just like, I am who I am, and that's who I am. Um, that people actually do celebrate that because they're like, finally, someone's being real. Because as much filters and as much lack of truth as there is on social media, we all still have an internal system within us, if we haven't completely ignored it or shut it down, where we say, that's not truth. And when we do see truth, it's a breath of fresh air. I think one of the most interesting people who I find to be super authentic, and I'm like, she's so successful. And I think it's why people love her, whether you like her or not. She's just straight up and real, is Cardi B, the rapper. I think she's hilarious in the things that she says the things that people are thinking, but it's not politically correct to say, and that's just who she is, and people eat it up. So I think that people do love authenticity. I have to agree with you. I think that sometimes people don't know how to navigate it though, because you even see her when she gets interviewed and she says very off the wall things that are just absolute truth that anyone in her situation would say. She's just the one that has the guts to say it. You can see the people who are interviewing her going like, I don't know what to do with this information. I don't know what to do with this response. And it's like, I think that people love authentic people, but I have to agree with you. I think that how to do life with them is a bit challenging because most people, here's what it boils down to, guys. Most people are just afraid to show up as themselves. Point simple. Most people are showing up in life as a very watered down version of who they are. It takes a lot of guts to be different. It takes a lot of guts to say, this is who I am. It takes a lot of guts to say what you really think and be okay with people disagreeing with you, being okay, accepting that not everyone's going to like you. That takes a lot of guts. What was that? Abby, what was that? Did you just fart? I think Abby just farted. Did you just fart? Where? I'm picking her up because I don't want you guys to think that was me. It was Abby. She is here. She's with us. Abby is with us. Thomas says, just be yourself. Yes. Ninja Wolf says, whenever I talk to somebody, there's always a misunderstanding. What do you mean by that? Tell me more about that experience. Thomas says, guess who's back? It's Abby. Penguin says, yes, you are unlocking tons of feelings. I can feel your words. I need this. You know what, Penguin? You have made my day. I will tell you guys a secret. Sometimes when you are, yes, I'm a coach, and yes, I'm an expert and a content producer and all this, but sometimes when you're always making content, um, it's just you and you're just making content. But when someone like Penguin says something like this, it just, oh man, it rocks my world and makes all the work that I do behind the scenes so worth it. Thank you for that. Richard says, hello, Erica. Well done. You are doing a great job. Thank you, guys. You guys, I tell you what, you are such a loving community and you guys are so encouraging. It really means the world to me. You guys really do. When I pour out in these, you guys just fill me right back up. Everyone says, hi, Abby. Oro, hello, Erica. I'm curious about something. I've read Zan Perion's book and I try to apply his lessons. I've been more inviting to people, but I always know that people don't know if I'm serious or not. I know what book you're talking about. I love Zan's book, and it is a very powerful book that he's written. I think when you use the terms, "I'm inviting more people in," I think that we can do that from, a posturing, a positioning, an intention of, "I wanna let more people in." But sometimes we just have to be a bit more also practical and direct and go out and just speak to people. I think that we have to be mindful that while having a posture of remaining open is a wonderful beginning, that it cannot be the end all be all, that there has to be action that follows behind the intention. There has to be action that follows from the posturing. So when you're trying to invite more people into your life, it's a posture, but it's also actually just going up and doing just that, asking people out, "Hey, there's a group of us going dancing. Hey, I'm going for a coffee. I'm going for a movie." And it's making those invitations. And if someone says, "I can't tell if you're serious or not," you say, Yeah, girl." You say that. "I'm serious." Like, "No, seriously, I want to do this. Like, when are you available?" And it's just being very direct with your communication. I think if people are not sure if you're serious or not, you have to be a little bit more direct. You said also, Penguin, you are the best. Thank you for that. That means the world to me. Thank you. Hi, Abby. Are you trying to give me a kiss? Are you kissing me on the YouTube live? Um, Orbro says, "I often see a lack of attempt to communicate back or compromise with the invitations. And in all honesty, I don't know if I'm being persistent enough or just being too flowy. I'm letting them off the hook." Yeah, people feel that. If you're not like really like demanding a decision out of people, people will kind of stay just very flowy, you know? And sometimes you need to say, "No, look, I'm serious. Like, do you want to do this? Yes or no?" You know? And when we're too flowy, people don't know whether or not to take us serious. And so I would really encourage you to just be a little bit more direct. Antonio says that you're so cute, Abby. People think you're cute. I think you should definitely be more persistent. Oh, wow, Penguin. I wish I could just give you a big squeeze. He says, "Lots of healthy tears. Feels good." Oh my gosh, babe. That is so beautiful and so, so powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Maria says, "As a Zen priest, I help people every day with so many problems. I didn't think I needed your talks, but I do. So thank you." Oh, Maria, you're so welcome. When we give out, we always have to be poured back into. Always, always, always. It's why I work with a therapist. It's why I constantly listen to meditations. It's why I reach to the people in my life and say, "Hey, I'm feeling a bit drained, feeling a bit bummed out. Could you just love on me?" Like, proud of you for being here. I'm proud of you for allowing me to pour into your life as you pour into others. So thank you for being here. Um, Nathan says, "Penguin, healthy tears are good." Yes, they are. So I'm curious, how many of you guys here have done my actual connection meditation? How many of you have listened to it and are on my 30-day challenge where I'm encouraging you to listen to it every morning as soon as you wake up and then right before you go to bed? Who in here has listened to it already? Yeah, Orville says to Maria, "You give so much of yourself, it drains you too." It's true. It can be very draining. And so we always have to fill ourselves back up. Abby, have you listened to my connection meditation? Have you? Abby's like, "I'm not interested in your connection meditation. I'm interested in if you can give me cuddles and food." Nathan, wonderful. He says, "I'm doing the 30-day. Orville says, "I have." Orville, have you had any interesting experiences with it? Abby and I want to know. She's just staring me down. "I see you." I feel like we're having a Yoda moment. Oh my gosh, she's touching me. "I see you, Abby." Yes, I see you, darling. I don't know what this means. Any dog experts out there? Is this what does this mean when a dog does this? Oh, wonderful, Thomas. He says, "I have done the meditation starting last week." Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Penguin is listening to it. Oh my God, I love this. I so love that you guys are doing this. This is fantastic. Um, Thank you, Orville. I really appreciate that. Guys, I really appreciate you guys being here. These moments are just powerful, 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 powerful to be able to spend this time with you guys. Maria says she sees you moving your lips and sound coming out of your mouth, so she thinks it's for her and she's confused because you're not giving her actual attention. Oh, yes, you're important. You matter, Abby. You're special. Yes, there's nobody like you. You're very special. That's a very good call, Maria. You were right. You were right. Do you need to eat? Is she hungry? Oh, it's food time. That's why she's doing it. She's like, "Feed me." And there she goes. That's her way of saying, "Feed me." That was cute. Um Oh, yes. And Antonio just said, Eric, if you go to Pinterest, you can go to the sound bath meditation. It's so relaxing. You should try it. I love sound bath meditations. I try to do them on Spotify. I will look for that on Pinterest. Guys, thank you so, so, so much for being here. I just adore you. I love your comments. I really love your perspective and your feedback. It to me makes these lives so special. When I'm just here and just talking, it's great and I love to give advice, but when you guys chime in with your questions and with your perspective, it really is just a game changer. So 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 grateful to have you guys doing that. Guys, thank you for being here. I am looking forward to seeing you guys on Monday. I cannot believe today is already Friday. I can't believe it. But I'm excited to be back with you guys on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope that you get loved on. I hope that you get in some good communication and just know that you're valued and that you're loved. And I will see you guys next Monday. Take care, guys. Love you. You too, Orville. You too, Davy. Bye, guys.